Retro Beats with me, Derek Alexander. This is not video game cover bands. This is not video game remixes. This is not chiptune. This is classic, old school video game music appreciation, but no nostalgia required. You do not have to have played these games to appreciate the music. Like this request right at the top here, I got a ton of people wanting me to play some Silver Surfer. I guarantee most of you have not played this game all the way through because it is a terrible game, but damn, does it have a great soundtrack. Here's a trio of tracks from Silver Surfer for the NES. example of a horrible game with a quality soundtrack. And, well, maybe Silver Surfer isn't a horrible game, but it is a super difficult game. And for some weird freaks out there, that's not a problem. But for the rest of us, yeah, Silver Surfer's a horrible game. But a ton of requests for it. I couldn't pin that request on any one person, so I just played all 3 of them. So there you go. Now, I love putting on the hard hat and gloves and doing some archaeological digging and find you guys some really obscure video game music, because again, no nostalgia required here. I'm just trying to find good music from this era of video games. But it's always pleasant when a fan requests something that I would have never thought to play, a game I would have never thought to download and rip the soundtrack from. So a shout out to Skrullcandy. He or she requested Robocop for the Game Boy, the title screen theme. Would have never thought that Robocop for the Game Boy would be good, much less have a good soundtrack, but yeah, it's actually a pretty good soundtrack here. And then that kind of got me on a kick for a bunch of Game Boy games. So some Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy, Final Fantasy Legends 2 by request, some Castlevania and Gargoyle's Quest coming up. So a nice chunk of Game Boy, but check out the opening theme to Robocop for the Game Boy. Bet you never knew this was a good song. Gargoyle's Quest 1 for the Game Boy. That was level 1. Before that, Castlevania Adventure 2. That was the second level. You can choose the order of the first 4, but that's typically the second level theme. Before that, a double dose of Final Fantasy Legends 2. Started it off with a Dreadful Fight, which is the boss fight. A request by IbunWest. And that was a request that he had made a while ago, so sorry for taking so long to get to that one, man. However, when I was listening to that soundtrack, I went to the next track after that one, which was the final boss theme, and I went, whoa, I gotta play this one too. So, shout-outs to IbunWest for giving me that kind of inspiring, that double dose of Final Fantasy Legends 2. Before that, Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. Mega Man 2 had, unlike the rest of the Mega Man games for the Game Boy, had a completely original soundtrack, and so that was actually Airman's theme. And even though last week we played a whole bunch of Mega Man songs, that one doesn't really count because it's a completely original track, so whatever, I like Mega Man. And kicking us off with Robocop, the title screen theme. Alright, I got a chunk of requests and then more just Nintendo music here. Keeping it going with, I guess, more bad games with good soundtracks. Adventures of Bayou Billy. Again, is it a bad game? Well, I know it's a crazy, impossibly hard game, which is bad in my book. To some people, though, I guess this game's a classic. To me, it's a terrible game with an awesome soundtrack. And Maxx wanted to hear level 1. And then I got a request for a Final Fight, Mighty Final Fight, and Super Spy Hunter, and then I got some more stuff. So keep it tuned. Well, you can't keep it tuned as a podcast. What am I thinking? All right, I gotta get off this mic break. Adventures of Bayou Billy, request by Maxx. from Rolling Thunder by Namco for the NES. That is, I'm just going to call it Area 2. There's only a couple of songs that appear in the main action sequences. That is the second of them, so there you go. I love the bass line in that track, and I love how minimalist that entire composition is. But that bass line, oh, I could listen to that thing all day. Tiny Toon Adventures 2, that is the castle theme. I will say that Tiny Toon Adventures 2 for the NES by Konami is a weird game, but not necessarily a bad one. And I think actually better than the first Tiny Toon Adventures, which I thought was just kind of a banal Mario clone. Never did much for me. Before that, Vice Project Doom by Sammy. That was boss theme number 4. A really good NES action game that kind of tried to be Ninja Gaiden. Didn't quite make it, but it is at times both easier and harder than Ninja Gaiden. Kind of strange. A request by Please Barry Doughboy. Got your name right this time, buddy. Super Spy Hunter Level 1. That was, of course, a Sunsoft joint. I shouldn't have to tell you that. Mighty Final Fight before that by eddugers. eddugers. I don't know how to say your name, boy. And then Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. Wait, no. Adventure of Bayou Billy. There we go. Get that right. All right, and also shout-outs to Itsayata. I think that's how your name is pronounced. Wanted to hear some Princess Tomato Stage 2, so that's what's going on in the background. All right, the rest of the show is pretty much you guys and gals. Almost all these songs come up here, all requests. So the rest of the show, that's all you. Chibi UFO, she wanted to hear one of the great NES songs from one of the great NES soundtracks, Level 3 from Castlevania 1. And then I got some Axelay, Thunder Force, Splatterhouse, that was me, and a whole bunch more songs. We're almost done here on Retro Beats, not quite yet because I got a ton of requests. And here's Level 3 from Castlevania. Illusion of Gaia for the Super Nintendo. That was the Threat of Dark Gaia, which I believe is the final boss theme. That one goes out to Tyson. And also, buddy, in the background here, I got some more Illusion of Gaia, Longing for the Past. He's been getting on my case about playing Illusion of Gaia for a while, so here you go, a double dose, Tyson. Now get off my back. Before that, some Splatterhouse 3. That was requested by me. Because I like Splatterhouse, even though I don't like that game very much. Solid soundtrack, and that was level 3. Before that, actually, I got 2 requests here from Remember the Ages. He wanted to hear some Thunder Force 3 and some Axlay. So we just heard before Splatterhouse, Thunder Force 3, the G Lobster or Stage 4 boss, and he also wanted to hear some Axlay. So I gave him Mother or the Fire level. And before that, Castlevania, as requested by Chibi UFO. Well, folks, I have a couple more tracks here, and then we're going to call it a day, or call it a podcast. I have 3 more requests. I have The Goonies 2 for the NES, an underrated and underappreciated NES game. The Underwater theme, requested by Brian Nintendo Nerd. And then S-Pack 316, twisting my arm, just trying to get me to play some Earthbound. Fine, I'll play some Earthbound on the show. Jeez. He wanted some Snowwood, the boarding school. And take us out at the ending. The ending theme for this show is going to be the Star Fox ending, as requested by Brian Nintendo Nerd. These are the last 3 tracks, folks. Check out the rest of Retro Beats at retrobeatspodcast.tumblr.com, as well as retrowaretv.com. That's where you can find all of my stuff, too, on my videos that I do. I do videos, too, by the way. How cool would it be if someone actually listened to this podcast didn't know I made videos, too? That'd be weird. I think right now, you all know I make videos. One day, I'll get big enough that people will be like, whoa, you also do reviews? I do. All right. I'm Derek Alexander. This has been Retro Beats episode 7. I have a special episode planned for next week. Keep your ear to the ground to RetroWare TV forums, because I'm going to need your help for this next one. It's going to be a special one. It's going to be a really good one, too. I think a lot of you are going to be really excited about this one. But okay, take us out. Some Goonies, some Earthbound, some Star Fox. Thank you for listening, and take care.
Good luck.